Hello fishing friends, this is Matthew with Outfishing 13 bringing you another reel service and repair video. Today we're going to work on an old Zebco 202 that I picked up at a secondhand store. It looks pretty crusty, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get it back in a tip-top shape. Let's get started. Okay, here's our old Zebco 202. If you know anything about this reel, when it was made, or approximately when it was made, I'd love to hear from you and put your comments down below. To start off with, we want to take the front cone off. So this one just spins off. It has a metal line guide here. And then to take the back off, once you take the front off, all you have to do is just kind of tip it up and get that the drag wheel out. The inside's pretty crusty. We need to clean this all out. You can see there's a bunch of old dried up grease and dust. But you can see it's pretty simple back here. This is the bait alert that allows it to free spool, and it's all crusty and doesn't hardly move, but we'll get that all cleaned up. Okay, but basically a pretty simple reel. This one happens to have the scalloped pickups. It doesn't have any pickup pins at all, but these actually work really well for this simple kind of reel. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take off the front nose cone and take everything apart this way. So we'll just use a screwdriver, hold on to this here, take off this first little nut, and this is the front pickup. Okay. To get the spool off, we just need to take off this this clamp here, this little E-clip. And just work this off. There we go, right there. All right. And I'm feeling this grease here is really sticky. It's just pretty old. Now this one doesn't have what you would consider a real positive sort of drag. All it does is it uses this right here, and this has like 3 different settings. It has like loose, and then you tighten it up, and it has a cam on there that tightens up this piece right here. One of the problems with many of these reels is that this piece, something breaks in here, and then you can never really tighten it up. But this is actually built pretty well. The next thing we want to do is go ahead and take off this handle. Look, it's so loose I can just do it by hand. Take off that handle right there. We're going to take off all that old line and put some new, like 8-pound test on there. Okay, to take out this, you want to take out this piece right here, and you just move this aside right there. That's what holds it in. So you take that out, and you can take out the center shaft. Just like that. Okay. And you'll have to note that this little thing has a little pin right here. You can see that pin, and that pin goes in a little slot right there. So when you put it back together, that's your actuator for your anti-reverse. Now that we have that out, we can take this gear out right here, and that's all we have. I'm going to clean this up. So let me just talk about cleaning this up. The best thing to do to clean this up is these are all stainless steel parts and plastic. They're not hurt by water. But the best thing to do is to get a little brush, like a toothbrush. I have one right here, and use some hot water and some dish detergent and scrub this and clean it all up, and then let it dry out, and it's ready to go. So I'm going to go clean up all these parts, and I'll be back when they're all dry, and we'll put it back together. All right, I got all my parts cleaned up, and I'm ready to put it back together. We're going to put it back together in reverse order. Then we're going to oil it up as we go or as we need, and then we're going to put some grease on the gears. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get the handle gear put in. So what I want to do here is I want to oil it up a little bit, just a drop, and insert that in here. Okay, and work that oil in there. That feels really good. Okay. Next thing we want to do is we want to get the main shaft put in. So we want to oil this up a little bit and put that in. Make sure this little finger right there goes into that little slot right there. Okay? Just like that, okay? We'll put a little bit of oil right there. Also, this pushes in and out here, so we want to make sure that we oil that up right there. Get some oil worked into there. Okay, perfect. Then remember, this little piece right here goes over the top of that, just like that, okay? Now we want to add a little bit of oil to this anti-reverse switch, just a little tiny bit. And we want to add some oil right here to this AR switch right here and work that in. We'll put some on each side and work it back and forth so it's working good. Okay. Now the way you know this is working is when you're reeling in like this, it'll push it out. But when you go back, it'll suck it in and stop it. That's how that works, okay? All right, now we're ready to take and put some grease on this little gear. And we'll put it on the big gear first. I got a little brush. I'll just brush it around the outside of this gear. Now remember, you don't need very much on here. It just requires a little bit, because whatever gets slung off and squished out is never going to get back on there again. So I'll put a little bit on here. That'll be good. Okay, now we're going to put the handle on. This is the handle nut. I want to get that on there good and snug, and I have a little nut driver. Okay. The anti-reverse works great. Excellent. Okay, we're ready to put the front on now. Okay, so we don't want to put grease on this, we just want to put oil on this, so we're going to put some oil right here. And then on this right here, this goes on this way, because this clicker, and what you want to do is, this is all the way to the right is tight. What you want to do is you want to go all the way to the left where it's loose, And what we want to do, we do want to put some grease right on the back of this, right here. A very thin layer, because it goes up against like a built-in washer right there. And we got oil on the shaft. So you need to lift this up right here and get that put on there for the drag. Okay. And then that's put together. All right. Then we need to take and put a little bit of grease right on the front here where this E-clip is going to go. I'll put that on. There we go, just like that. Okay, that's good on there, good and snug. Okay. Alright, now we got that drag system and the spool on. Now we can go ahead and put this on. Now all we need to do here, and this is how it, the caulking mechanism works. This goes up on there and then it gets pushed off by a little cam. It's hard to see, but there's a little cam there. We want to go ahead and grease that up right here and put just a little bit of grease right here underneath this cam system. Just like that. That's all. And then this has a little D-shaped hole and a little D-shaped. So we put that on there and tighten this up. You might want to spin it around first to make sure it's going down and tighten it up. And that's all. Okay. So the whole reel is put together basically. Now all we need to do is put it on the back and the front. Now when I took this all apart, I did see a problem with my button. And fortunately, I didn't lose any pieces, but this little button here, this little piece right here broken off, and I used some super glue and was able to get that back together. So to put this on, this button on, we just want to take and I'm pretty sure all I want to do is just lift up like this and carefully take a screwdriver and pop it in place. There. Now my button's in place, and that broken button I was able to fix it because I did have the little part. So that was I was fortunate there to be able to recover that. Okay. Now all we have to do is put the back on. And it just goes like, put that button out of the way. Just goes like that, and then slips over there like so. And put the front on. I don't have any line on this. I took all the old line off. But it's working good. And it's much cleaner. But that's the little Zebco 202 that has the scalloped edge. Now I'm going to go ahead and just hold on to this, but test it out here and see. That's the casting part. When you reel it in, it comes off there, and then the line will catch in any of these little scalloped edges, these little pickups, and work just great. And they're great little reels. They're great for panfish to small trout. I bet you'd even catch a pretty big trout too if you didn't reef on it too hard. But great little reel. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. I have lots and lots, over 50, probably over 60 Zebco repair videos. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.